How do you sort out the so-called jargon from real-world practices that work? Do the members of your organization find some business or technology advice utterly confusing? Welcome to Real Talk with Sam Holcman. In this program, we set the record straight, and in terms that business people and technology people can understand. Now, here is your host, Sam Holcman.
Welcome to this edition of Real Talk. I'm Sam Holcman. Thanks for joining me. Have a very strange topic for you in this particular broadcast. It's called Zombie Software and Zombie Hardware. What the heck is that? Well, it's software and hardware that is lingering in your enterprise that may rear its ugly head one day, as is happening in a lot of organizations. And with the continuing cyber threats and the use of various public-facing activities, models, services, cloud services, etc., dead software and dead hardware in your organization is sometimes ignored. And it's ignored only because it's ignored. People don't think about decommissioning completely hardware and absolutely rarely consider decommissioning, I mean removing, deleting, getting rid of completely software that's no longer used. And why is this an issue? Well, passwords, vulnerabilities, old operating systems, old software with vulnerabilities that have been laid aside and not thought about, and all of a sudden, somehow, it's activated. And that activation is a new area for evildoers, cyber criminals, to explore. And we see this all the time. A lot of it is just, how should I put this? Unintentional. You have, for example, a software restart of certain softwares, or maybe a server goes down, or a cloud service is changed, or a piece of hardware is changed and things are brought over, copy-paste, so to speak. And all of a sudden, these things that have been sitting there that nobody has thought about or looked at for quite some time is all of a sudden active. And of course, those vulnerabilities are there for people to exploit. So we call it zombie software and zombie hardware. Now, how do you address this? Well, a thorough application asset inventory and a thorough technology inventory is one start. And you got to do some digging. It's going to take a little bit of time because possibly it hasn't been done. Now, if you've kept that up over the years, taking a look at it is going to be a little bit easier. Now, why am I bringing this up today? Well, what we see in a lot of areas is unintended consequences of not doing this. One horrible example is in some of the fires that occurred in California that may be due to a dead power line being inadvertently activated. In other words, it was, quote, decommissioned, but not really decommissioned. And it was powered up. And of course, it caused potentially billions of dollars worth of damage. Now, all of this right now, as of this broadcast, is, quote, speculation, because we don't have all of the facts yet. But think about this concept of dead hardware, dead software that for some reason is reactivated. It's time to look at your closet, time to look at your basement, time to look at the attic and figure out what your vulnerabilities are. When should you be doing this? Yesterday. When is the next best time to do this? Tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk. Be sure to join your host, Sam Holcman, again for another edition of our program. We'll have more real topics of discussion then.